to the craze in 10 or less. This is the show where I give it to you in 10 minutes or under, and if I don't, you know how we do it anyway. If it's so difficult, why do you still do it? That's the topic of the day. I'm Seth the Crazy Man Vera. Stop acting up. Let's get it. Alright. So, why this topic? I'll tell you why. How many times have you been faced with a question from either people in or outside of the industry, from your relatives to your friends, co-workers, bosses, whatever? It's like, why are you wasting your time? Why do you keep doing it? If it's so difficult, why? That's a really complicated question. But the only answer that I have for this, it's not over until I win. That's plain and simple. It's not over until I win. Now, winning is a state of mind. Winning, it's based on your personal goals, right? But in order to understand the mindset of why I'm fixated about winning, and not in the terms that you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. It's not that terms. We have to go back, right? So let's talk about why is it so difficult for an entrepreneur, an independent creator, an aspiring artist, an aspiring songwriter. But we're talking about comics, so let's talk about independent comics. Why is it so challenging? It's almost like the Bad News Bears. It's the Rocky story. It's the unsung hero. It's you're not supposed to win. You're not supposed to succeed. The odds are stacked up against you. You are a brawler from the streets, making money any way you can, whether it's by bouncing, being security, working at a meat factory, delivering groceries, being a mechanic, right? You're not supposed to be Apollo Creed, right? You don't have access to the resources. You don't have access to the machine until you get that shot. Until you get that shot. Is that an echo? Is that an echo? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, so what do I mean? So you think about it, right? Most independents don't have the capital. The majority don't have that financial stability to be able to have that excess money to be able to invest in yourself, right? Most independents are working full-time jobs. Most independents are in a relationship. Most independents have bills, whether it's college tuition, whether it's rent, whether it's mortgage, whether it's car payments, school loans, whether, light, gas, phone bills, groceries, clothing, all these things, right, to get by. So you can only put a couple of dollars here and there, right, to invest. Most independents, the majority of their time is taken away by working for someone else, right? So you think about it. There's 24 hours in a day. Let's say you sleep 8 hours, right? So you have 16 hours, right? 10 hours already gone because of work, whether it's getting to and from and then working, right? So 10 hours are gone. So you have 6 hours. So you have to commit at least a couple of hours a day to your family, to whatever it is that your life situation, right? So let's say 3 hours is taken up having dinner, talking with the family, the kids, your friends, maybe doing your homework. Maybe you're a student and you have to do your homework, right? So 3 to 4 hours taken. So you have to invest 2 hours of that time, right? So of that time, you have to try to create, you have to try to market, you have to try to promote, you have to try all these things. They're just stacked up against you. So then you got to find the capital to go and do conventions that have become extremely hard on the little guy, right? The big shows are not very independent friendly, right? That you can see it by their price points. You can see it by the way that they don't even post that you're going to be in their show, right? You don't even get your name on the website. I remember back in the days, if I did Wizard World, I was on their website. I was in their handouts, right? People knew I was going to be there. It was a big thing. Now, you have these conventions. They don't even know you're going to be there. So you have to do all that legwork. So you got to raise money to do all these things. On top of dealing with the critics, on top of dealing with the people who don't believe in you, who don't believe what you're doing is sustainable, who think that you're wasting time, that you live in a pipe dream, because you have to spend money, and money that should be going, if you're involved in a relationship, or if you have a family, or if you have bills, should be going towards that. But you find a way to take money and invest in comics, and you're spending more than you're intaking. Then you don't have a fan base. Because you don't have the time to cultivate that. So you're doing what everybody else is doing. You have a billion people using the same platforms, using the same hashtags, trying to get to an audience. And the only people that are seeing you are the people who are using the same hashtags. It's the artists you're competing with, the writers you're competing with, right? Because in order to get to the people who never heard of you, you have to be out in the streets. But that requires time and investment. So why do it? I just won't stop until I win. And now let me define what that means. The win for me means internationally published. If it ended there, I'm good. My book published internationally. Now, the reality is, I know that I have to steer that ship. I have to make it happen. I have to make the investment. I have to go out there and potentially self-publish. I have to go out there, buy my barcodes, my ISBN numbers. I have to partner with an international print-on-demand distribution company to be able to do those things, right? So that's the overarching goal. Where do I start? I start by cultivating an audience. I start by going domestic first. Going domestic first, hopefully building up a big enough audience where there's a demand, so then now I can go and have someone translate it, pay to have it translated, right? So that's the long game. The short game is domestic, but it requires investment, right? So for me, the win is that it's published, there's a demand for it, create that demand. I feel like I'm accomplished in my eyes. Winning to you might be something different. It might be a movie deal. Winning to you might be, licensing and merchandising and all those things. But what is winning? You got to define it for yourself. So for me, it's that. For me, it's I want kids reading my books. I want to, walk into a comic book shop and see people picking it up off the stand. Walk into a Barnes and Nobles and seeing people buying it off the shelf. Being able to get invited to do speaking engagements, art demonstrations. That's winning for me. So, which means is you got to put into work. So what's winning for you? Don't let anybody define it for you. Don't worry about it, because everyone's going to ask you or question why you're doing it, why you're wasting your time, all these other things. It's what you believe. It's what you believe for yourself. There's too many failed attempts at fulfilling dreams. As long as I can, I will. And I will not stop until I win. That's the summary of this episode. I was thinking about that because the question came to me, and I just felt like, the appropriate response was that for me. I am stubborn as an ox. And I'm not sure if oxes are stubborn. Are they? I wonder where that term came from. Let us ponder a second. Anyway, I believe what I do, and I love what I do, and I'm having fun with it. And I hope that you have fun with it as well. If you like this episode, give me a thumbs up. What's winning for you? Put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear it, And subscribe to this episode if you haven't done so already. Share it with a friend. Help get the word out. When we grow, everybody grows. So thank you so much for watching this episode. Don't forget, sign up to There's Nearly in My Toilet on Kickstarter right now. The landing page is there. Sign up for issue number 6. And if you're an artist, show me what you got. Enter the Do the Art contest. There's a couple of weeks left. It ends on the 15th. The deadline's on the 15th. We've got 3 submissions so far. So Get down with the get down. This is the Crazy Channel. I'm Sam the Crazy Man Vera. You guys have a blessed day. Peace.